Hey, what is up guys? I'm KBHD here, and I'm a person who uses a lot of technology. That's why I review it. I use a lot of tech, and being a user first is what gives me a pretty good perspective of a lot of stuff. And I did like a video like this maybe 4-ish years ago where I'm talking to Apple about a whole bunch of stuff that I'd like them to do. And I think it's time to have a bit of a sit down and chat with the 2017 version of this most powerful consumer electronics company in the world. Dear Apple, you should matte black all the things, or at least give the option. Like, I know the trademarked white cable and white ear pods and white mouse, they don't have to go anywhere, but I'd be curious, does the space gray MacBook sell more than the other colors? Do you think people would buy, or maybe even pay a little bit extra for a matte black version if you offered it? You kinda got it started with the matte black version of the iPhone 7, which in my opinion is the best colorway of any iPhone ever. I really do think that. And I have no idea what sales numbers look like, and I don't even know if you tell anyone which color sells the most, but I'd be willing to bet that people really like the matte black. Imagine a matte black Mac Pro. Imagine a matte black iMac, or a matte black Apple keyboard or Apple trackpad, a matte black Apple accessories. It would be so sweet to see them go matte black with all the things. Imagine matte black AirPods. I mean, they already are pretty easy to lose, so that might not get any better, but I feel like they would look a little bit less ridiculous in the ear. Colorware, a company I've talked about before who like just paint stuff, they do custom paint jobs, they are offering now AirPods just painted black or painted any other color. And there was actually even a company just started called BlackPods, specifically just to sell matte black AirPods. So maybe Apple take a hint and start offering that colorway. Dear Apple, USB Type-C, all the things. Now hear me out, you're already well on your way to doing this. You are already right up at the front of the USB-C line with your one-port wonder 12-inch MacBook. It was a little bit user hostile at the time, but we get the idea now. The new MacBook Pros are still all USB Type-C all the time. That's still pushing it, but at least we have, you know, adapters to be able to cross that bridge to the future. So while you're at it, maybe USB Type-C that iPhone though. Now I know Apple makes a ton of money from Lightning. I get that, they can license it, and I even know that Lightning is actually physically, I think, a smaller port than USB Type-C. But for all that being said, Apple users have never known the feeling of coming home with one charger and being able to charge up your laptop and your phone with the same cable. USB-C is the standard for a bunch of reasons: the data throughput, the power throughput, the universal nature of USB. I know it's not gonna be the favorite thing to do, especially because there are so many Lightning accessories already, but it just feels like obviously USB Type-C is the future moving forward on a bunch of different platforms. And hey, if we can use adapters to get our MacBooks and our laptops to the future, then we can do our phones too, right? I mean, you guys were the ones to take away the headphone jacks, so you're pretty familiar with that. You got this. Dear Apple, please refresh the Mac Pro. Please. Okay, so this is admittedly a much more niche product that almost no one buys and no one cares about. And that's why Apple hardly focuses on the Pro market anymore. There's just no one buying these, there's no volume. But you're Apple, so you have the power, if you wanted to hire literally a special team of people, engineers, designers, and just put them in a room for a couple months just to come up with the next gen, the ideal, the perfect Mac Pro, and the pros would love you for it. I know it's not big, I know there's only like 12 of us Final Cut Pro, Mac Pro editors left on the planet. I get that, but we're so hungry for an update, it's crazy. I've been a Final Cut Pro editor for the past couple years. I switched from a PC and Premiere, and so I have to use the most powerful Mac that Apple makes to do my work, which is at this point the Mac Pro, the 4-year-old 12-core trash can Mac Pro. It's kind of a joke at this point. Normally a 4-year-old computer isn't that old, but the fact that this is the most powerful, most advanced machine that Apple makes is pretty sad. And they still sell it for the same price that they did when it launched, which is even more sad. Now to those who are already typing, oh, just build a powerful PC and switch back to Premiere. Well, first is the Mac Pro, even in its current state, still with Final Cut Pro renders and exports and plays back videos faster than the more powerful PCs that I've tried. And second of all, there are plenty of great plugins for Final Cut Pro that just don't exist in the Adobe ecosystem that I use all the time. So I won't be switching back anytime soon just for performance, but that doesn't mean I can't complain a little bit. Have you seen like the fan-made mock-ups of a 2017 Mac Pro with like a full desktop GPU and Thunderbolt 3 USB Type-C, all that stuff? I'll try to link it below if I can find it. I'm just saying, I'd get it. I'd get it. Dear Apple, you gotta get wireless charging in the next iPhone. I was gonna say bring the headphone jack back, but I feel like we know that's not gonna happen. So if Apple's really on their way to a completely portless iPhone, no headphone jack, no ports at all, you do have to eventually get rid of that charging port. If you just skip USB Type-C, you gotta get people used to wireless charging. So whether it's the iPhone 7S or the iPhone 8 or the iPhone X or the 10th anniversary, whatever they call it, I feel like that could be the killer feature of the next iPhone. And we've seen Apple tend to sort of stay back on new technologies and wait for them to develop and then adopt them late and do them better. And I feel like that could be an opportunity to do that with wireless charging. This is probably like the 4th individual video where I've said that they should have wireless charging in the iPhone. But now you know how I feel. So there you have it. Just a couple things I wanted to get off my chest. Just so I feel like it's a refreshed list of things that we want to see from a company in 2017 who can totally do these things if they want to. It's just a matter of whether they want to or not. Maybe leave a comment below of which one of these you'd like to see the most. I know USB Type-C is pretty high on my list, but I also just like matte black so much, it's hard to go wrong with it. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.